Day clean is a Gullah word that means new day. That's dawn, when the sun peeks out on the horizon, dawn. But also, it's a philosophy of life. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, day clean. Each day starts anew. Day clean is also a direct translation of a Wolof word, berset, which means the day is clean. Those who know, those who have understanding, and when I say that the Wolof word berset means the day is clean, guess what? There's an entity called Heru Aket, or Horamaket, Horus or Heru on the horizon. Aket means horizon. And so, again, Shea After Job shows basically how words from the eastern part of the continent will then travel over from classical African civilizations, now travel over to what we know as to Western Africa, Central Africa. And so that's why I tell people, I say, guess what? Over here, we say day clean. And Senegal, the Gambia, they say berset. And you go back to Kemet, that is in ancient Egypt, they say Aket. We're on the horizon, that we're the ones now bringing the word, that when everyone comes out for the light, they got to begin at day clean. We're not just the African soul, we're day clean the African soul. You see how Africa remains alive with us? And what was so poignant for us, especially kids on Hilton Head Island, and our grandmama asked us, she said, is it day clean yet? What? Is it day clean? So we got to go to the back door and look out the door. You know, I said, no, grandma, it's not day clean yet. One of the ways that we see the African spirit is that, again, it's a combination. It's a combination of the African tradition with regards to the African spirit, dancers, and then also the Jele. People who are intelligent, who are woke, people who got understanding, people who are knowledgeable, people who are cultural, people who are educated. And they talk about griot. Guess what? We never call in our people griots. We call them Jeles, Jalemusos, Garwels, just to name a few. It doesn't matter where you're from. In the diaspora, that is, if you are at home, we can throw out elements. We can make the connection. That's what we do. We tell a story. It doesn't matter where you're from. We're going to connect you to this area. I'm going to show you how Africa is around you, and you don't even realize it. I'm going to help you not see Africa. I'm going to help you open up your mind's eye, so that way you not see Africa and open up your mind's ears where you can not hear Africa. And so now you have your speech now talk about Africa. And you see it right there with you. The neighbor is your family too. That's why all of us African people, we're family. Doesn't matter if you're continental or intercontinental. And that's why I tell folks, intercontinental Africans are just as valuable as continental Africans, because we are part of the evolution of the culture from the continent. Because some things got lost on the continent, but it remained alive here in the Americas. And that's our story. If you're from Argentina, you know, we're going to throw it out there. If you're from Peru, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how you got the songs that's connected to the Africans who come over there. We're going to talk about, if you're from Mexico, we're going to talk about, you know, the mines that were mayors in northern Mexico were wearing black masks on their face, you know, for celebrations, because it's in tribute to or in memory of the overseers that were in the mines, that were the Africans. You know, I talk about Yanga. You know, I talk about that. Or if I got to go up to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and go and talk about that. When you look at something called the NHL, the National Hockey League, that you look at a brand of hockey that came from black folks who were in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland who played hockey like that. That now just expands. So now people are looking like, what? I never knew that. That's the job of the Jele. The Jele know the great things about who you are, and they know the not so great things about who you are. And depending on how you functioning, they're gonna applaud you. They're gonna give you the credit. They're gonna celebrate you. But then if you go a little too out of control, they're also not gonna bring you down, because they can know the other negative side. There's this force that is called Yama. Yama is said to be a force that's uncontrollable. Wow, untamable. That it is all over the place, and that it's powerful force, and that you have to have two entities that can control the Yama, that can harness it and not be able to take control of it and then help the people. One of them is the blacksmith. The blacksmith is not able, bam, that iron, bam. They're not able to get the Yama, bam. They're not able to shape, bam. They're not shaped, bam, bam, and they not got it. The other one is also a smith, also a wordsmith. The Yamacraw. So the Yamacraw, now, that's why I said the Most High sends it to me, sends it to Jamal the vessel, then Jamal the vessel now puts it out, because it's powerful. The ancestor sent it, and it's powerful. It comes out. In 2000, we did the installment of Queen Quet as chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So Queen Quet said that we want the spirit there to do something. We go to Sullivan's Island. And so the spirit is there getting ready. And so when it's now time for the spirit to come, the spirit began talking about people, started saying names to people, just started sharing the information. Because a lot of people don't know who I am, but I'm the spirit. The sister who had put the program together for Queen Quet, she said, that's the brother right there. That's the brother right there. So these folks came over to me. And I'm like, looking like, she said, brother, these people want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, they said, so you the spirit? I said, I know the spirit. They said, the spirit talked about Dr. Crumb. So I'm like, yeah, Dr. Crumb was an ambassador, you know, for the Liberia and stuff like that out of Charleston. And they said that was our grand uncle. We just came down from New York just on a humbug and said that we just came down here because, you know, we say our family from Charleston. We've not been to Charleston. So the brother said, me and my wife and my sister drove down here from New York. We came down here and then we went to the Avery Institute, College of Charleston. They said, when we told them that we were descendants of Dr. Crumb, they said, we have some of his papers here in the Avery Institute. So they said, come on inside. We'll let y'all come inside. And we looked at the papers. Then that's when the director said, there's going to be a program going on today in the installment of Queen Quet. They said, y'all might want to check that out. When we were there, this spirit now started talking about Dr. Crumb. We looked at each other like, he's sending us a message that we're on the right path. We're doing what we need to be doing. And I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, I said, that's what happened. I think I'm preparing for the program, but that's what I said about being used. Like I did something with Uncle Jonah. I'm manifesting Uncle Jonah at this church down in Liberty County. After the church service, he said, Uncle Jonah was our grand uncle. I didn't know that. For the African spirit, for the JLA, now it is a synthesis of them. It's actually an evolution of them. And that is not evolved to here in the Americas over here. Now I say, because we represent us, you know, we tell our story. It doesn't matter where we are, we're going to tell a part of our story. And it's going to be a story that is glorious for us and that is going to be real for us, that we can respect. So I tell folks, we seek to inform, enlighten, and empower. I'm paying homage to my grandmother also. One of the last sentences that she asked while in this earthly realm, she had asked my mother, was it day clean yet? And so my mama then said that, mama had asked me, was it day clean? And I told mama, no, it's not day clean yet. And then my grandmother then made that transition to the ancestral realm.